So starting the list off here in the number 5 spot, this is hands down the most popular myth in all of Fortnite, and that is getting back to Spawn Island. This is something that people have been trying to do since the release of a Fortnite Battle Royale, and I guess a huge reason why people are trying to do this constantly is because in PUBG, you can get back to Spawn Island in that game, and for those of you who don't know what PUBG is, it's a very popular Battle Royale game that came out before Fortnite, but people are trying to do that here in Fortnite Battle Royale, and unfortunately, it just doesn't work. You can try to parachute down, and just when you feel like you're getting close and you're about to make it, you hit this big barrier. And the same thing with building. If you start building from the main map over to Spawn Island, the same thing happens. You get close, but you hit a huge barrier, and you can't actually make it over to Spawn Island. Now, since we're talking about getting back to Spawn Island, in the future, I could definitely see them making Spawn Island accessible, or they could actually link Spawn Island to the main map, because one thing they're doing now is they're adding in more areas on the main map, and eventually they're gonna run out of room, so why not just link Spawn Island? You'll have more room there to add in new interesting areas on the map, and then of course, you can actually go back to Spawn Island. That would be really awesome, and I can definitely see them doing something like that in the future. But for now, Spawn Island, you can never get back there. Maybe someone will figure out some kind of glitch, but you actually can't get back there in game. It is a myth. Don't believe it. So coming in at the number 4 spot, getting down faster with your umbrella or your glider. And there are so many myths and strategies for getting down faster that I can't really pick one because there's just so many, but I do want to talk about, the ones that actually do work. And the reality is, the truth is that there's really not one specific strategy that will get you down faster or significantly faster than everybody else. It's pretty much all the same. There are little small things you can do to get down a tiny bit faster, but it's nothing significant. So the one strategy that actually does work in game is landing at the lowest point on the map. So when you hear people talking about landing on the outside of the map gets you down faster, that actually does work. When you aim for the lowest point on the map, your glider will actually deploy a lot later compared to aiming for a mountain. So when you aim for the lowest point on the map, your glider will deploy much later, and then the time from when you deploy your glider to getting down to the ground is significantly faster. Everything else really is a myth or doesn't work, and one popular myth for this was umbrellas go down faster than gliders. That is completely BS. They are the exact same, but all these crazy myths regarding getting down faster really don't work. The only way to do it is a strategy I just talked about. So coming in at the number 3 spot on today's list, I want to talk about fall damage. And the thing is, guys, fall damage is, you're in Fortnite and it's not going anywhere anytime soon, and there's so many different strategies out there and myths regarding not taking any fall damage. And the one that I want to focus on is the, I guess, sliding down a mountain strategy where you take no fall damage. And with that strategy, you kind of turn around and face the mountain as you slide down, and you run towards the mountain as well. And with that, you're supposed to take no fall damage. And this is actually something I wanted to put in one of my previous top 5s a while ago, and I tested the crap out of this, and unfortunately this is something that just doesn't work. Sometimes it does, but it is incredibly inconsistent. And speaking of inconsistent, I feel like the fall damage in general in this game is incredibly inconsistent. We've all had those moments where we've slid down these massive slopes and we expect to take tons of fall damage and nothing happens, and you slide down this small little slope and then boom, half your health is gone. So just in general, fall damage is really weird in this game, and using this strategy, like I said, sometimes it works, but for the most part, you're gonna take the same amount of fall damage as you normally would. And a lot of these myths myths revolving around not taking fall damage. They just aren't true, and you shouldn't believe them. So coming in at the number 2 spot on today's list, we gotta talk about running faster here in Fortnite Battle Royale, because there's a lot of myths floating around out there. A lot of people actually really buy into this one. I think this is the one myth that a large portion of the community actually believes, and you would think that if you ran with a pistol over an RPG or an assault rifle, you would run much faster, because a pistol should be lighter than an RPG, but it's actually not true. Or one myth is if you run with bandages, you'll run faster, and a lot of people actually do this in game, and a while ago, this is something that I believe too. If you are caught in the storm, make sure you had those bandages out because you'll run faster, but unfortunately, that doesn't work, and buying into that specific myth can be a really bad idea. So if you're trying to get to somewhere on the map, or the storm is behind you, or you're just trying to get into the circle, and you think that bandages are gonna help you run faster, and you're running around the map with your bandages out, you run into somebody, you're instantly at a massive disadvantage. And what do? You can't shoot with your bandages, and I actually did this so many times where I was running with my bandages out, and I went to shoot and I started healing instead. It is a very bad idea. Don't buy into this one. I did for a little bit, and I realized that there is no difference if you run with bandages, an RPG, a pistol, or assault rifle. You run at the same speed, so don't believe this myth. So coming in at our number 1 spot, we have a myth that has been talked about since the beginning of Fortnite. It's very similar to the whole Spawn Island myth. There are probably like 10,000 videos on YouTube talking about this one little thing, and that is surviving in the storm. I don't know why people are so obsessed with finding ways to survive in the storm. I guess if you actually can do that, it's an automatic win, but surviving in the storm is something, I'm sorry guys, it cannot be done. I actually remember not too long ago, there were actually a couple of methods for surviving in the storm. Of course, they have all been patched now, so don't try to do it after you hear this, but the one that really stands out to me was the slurp juice glitch, where you could actually drink a slurp juice and then do something else. I don't exactly remember what it was, but your health would like never go down, or would always be recovering from the slurp juice, and you could stay alive in the storm forever, which would give you an automatic win, because the circle will get so small that the person who's actually playing, they're just gonna die. So doing this method it's just cheap. Surviving the storm forever completely ruins the game for everybody else, and thankfully there are currently, well actually I don't know if there are methods right now for surviving the storm, but if you actually do find one and you do use it, you can actually get banned for surviving or staying in the storm forever, because again, that is going against the whole point of playing Fortnite. But unfortunately, even to this day, I'm sure there's people out there trying to find different methods for surviving in the storm forever, and I'm sure more will be found. And if you're someone who believes that there are actually ways to survive in the storm, don't believe it. Even if there are ways, don't do them, because you're probably going to end up getting banned anyways, and you probably don't want that. So there we have it guys, those are 5 very popular myths here in Fortnite Battle Royale that you definitely should not buy into. And the one myth that I really see a lot of in-game, and I think a lot of people really buy into this one, has to be the ability to run faster with bandages or just guns that are lighter, like pistols and things like that. Unfortunately guys, it just does not work, and don't even try doing it, because if you are running out with bandages, I will shoot you and I will kill you. Besides that guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe for more Fortnite top 5 videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.